The answer may remain unknown or at least full of mystery unless there is a direct warfare engagement involving a T-14 Armata and upgraded M1 Abrams tank, a serious development likely not wished for by anyone. However, there are some interesting points of comparison, and several of the reports on the T-14 claiming that it is superior seem to completely overlook defining elements of an upgraded Abrams. A report from hotcars.com in 2020, for example, tries to claim that the T-14 can operate at ranges of 310 miles compared to a 265-mile range for an Abrams tank. It is not clear if a range difference of this kind, if accurate, would have a massive tactical impact given the advent of unmanned systems capable of sustaining long-endurance forward armored reconnaissance missions. The hotcars.com report also says the T-14 is more powerful than rival tanks, writing, "The T-14 sports the all-new 2A82-1M 125mm 4.92-in smoothbore cannon, replacing the older 2A46 125mm gun of previous Russian and Soviet tanks. This cannon is more powerful than its Western counterparts like the German Leopard 2's Rheinmetall 120mm gun." This claim, however, offers little to no specifics about Abrams' lethality and likely does not account for several key lethality enhancements made to the Abrams, such as its ammunition data link, programmable fuse, and new multi-purpose ammunition round, which combines several different rounds into one, such as high-explosive anti-tank rounds and anti-personnel canister rounds. Newer variants of the Abrams tank, for example, will include new laser rangefinder technology, color cameras, integrated onboard networks, new slip rings, advanced meteorological sensors, ammunition data links, and laser warning receivers. Other elements of the Abrams left out of the hotcars.com report include the incorporation of advanced computing electronics, targeting technologies, and auxiliary power units able to redefine combat operations moving into the future. Ultimately, targeting range and accuracy of high-fidelity sensors and computing will most likely determine which tank might be superior. Small differences in lethality will likely matter less if one tank is able to see the other while the other cannot detect at similar ranges. The tank that can find, target, and hit the other from the longer range is likely to prevail in any kind of war engagement. The Abrams is being engineered with AI-capable computer processing and a fast-emerging ability to operate nearby drones and function in a manned-unmanned teaming capacity. Will the Armata be similar in this respect? Unknown. Army deliberations about how to somehow reconcile a specific paradox, fundamental to future armored vehicles, have continued for as long as several decades. The problem at hand involves vehicle weight, technology, and survivability. Futurists and weapons developers are exploring how to engineer a lightweight, deployable, and highly lethal armored vehicle with the levels of survivability needed to withstand heavy incoming enemy fire and prevail in major armored warfare. The question is whether that can actually be done, as there may be little or no substitute for the protection and firepower of heavily armed manned platforms like an Abrams. At the same time, keeping the Abrams does not preclude or diminish the possibilities for engineering faster, lighter weight, and potentially unmanned vehicles to operate alongside a heavy tank. The Army seems to be pursuing both. Why not? Major General Ross Kaufman, who was formerly the director of the Next Generation Combat Vehicle Cross-Functional Team, Army Futures Command, told Warrior last year that the service was looking into both heavily armored solutions as well as unmanned systems and lighter-weight manned alternatives. Kaufman said the Army plans to keep upgrading the Abrams while also studying new concepts for a new optionally manned tank platform. We are gathering information in the form of studies, maturing technologies, and doing deep dives into what will be required from a decisive platform in the future. We are in the exploratory phases and do not want to take anything off the table when it comes to the best thing for our soldiers in the future. We are exploring characteristics and not requirements and looking at broad solutions to known problems, Kaufman told Warrior. Much of this leads to a lingering question with no real answer, at least not an answer at the moment. Will there be a replacement for the Army's upgraded Abrams main battle tank? Should there be? Ultimately, an entirely new platform may arise, but many questions remain open, such as how long until that happens? Will there still need to be a vehicle built with heavy armor to withstand heavy enemy mechanized attacks? Perhaps a new Abrams-like platform, should it come to fruition, will be a large, heavy vehicle with Abrams-like armor protection. At the moment, there simply may not be anything with comparable protective performance which can replace it. Is the answer lightweight armor composites? A new impenetrable active protection system, or perhaps the optimal solution lies in the fast-emerging phenomenon of manned-unmanned teaming. The largest factor in this entire equation relates to a collection of unprecedented innovations to soon be revealed by GDLS on the as-of-yet unmanned Abrams X future tank. AI-enabled target data processing, laser attacks, long-range, high-fidelity targeting, breakthrough command and control systems, manned-unmanned teaming, autonomous navigation and sensing, guided, course-correcting ammunition and paradigm-changing new tactical possibilities are all intended elements of the now unveiled General Dynamics Land Systems Abrams X main battle tank. Unveiled at the Association of the United States Army Annual Symposium, the Abrams X demonstrator vehicle represents an effort to integrate a series of breakthrough technologies and enhancements intended to propel the tank platform for decades into the future. Could there be an Abrams in 2050, or something quite similar as a highly networked and lethal heavy armor platform? Maybe. Such questions are certainly on the Army's mind as it evaluates its future force and seeks to transition promising new technologies to the operational force. In a special interview with the Center for Military Modernization, Undersecretary of the Army, Mr. Gabe Camarillo explained that critical experimentation and analysis is necessary to navigate a specific path forward. Yet he stressed that the Army's direction needs to prioritize innovation and continued modernization. At the moment, there are far too many evolving variables for a specific determination to be made, Camarillo emphasized. Of course, senior Army leaders regularly avoid offering opinions or making any specific comments or assessments related to a particular industry offering or platform. Camarillo did address the critical dynamics of relevance to heavy armor, combat platforms, and innovation for the future force. It's too early to say what the future of the Army's battle tank is going to be. But what I can tell you is that, we are looking down the road. What are the investments that we need to make, What is currently the art of the possible? And I think, as AFC, Army Futures Command, continues to do experimentation through the NGCV-CFT, we'll begin to extract some lessons learned, Camarillo said. Certainly some elements of the Abrams X are likely unavailable for security reasons. The General Dynamics offering does represent an effort to anticipate and address emerging Army requirements for future war. Some specifics include a new generation of autonomy, command and control, AI-enabled data and sensor management, onboard power increase and management, and a top-down hemispheric active protection system to stop drones and top-down fired anti-armor weapons. We are very focused on ensuring that we have a top attack counter-UAS capable capacity there, whether it's one system or a series of several systems. When the Army makes that decision, we're going to show what some of those capabilities are. Tim Reese, Director, U.S. Business Development, General Dynamics Land Systems. Artificial intelligence helps us with reducing the crew's cognitive burden, making them more productive. The Army's Abrams X active protection system is engineered to accommodate any specific solution requested by the Army, meaning it is built with the technical infrastructure such that the vehicle can integrate any explosive or sensor the Army needs. It does have an integrated APS system. We are not presupposing the Army's decision. Rather, we're making sure we have all the hooks and the power, that whatever charges or explosive charges they choose or effectors they choose or whatever radars they choose, it will be an application of them on there, not a whole redesign to enable it, Keith Barkley, Director of U.S. Strategy and Growth, told Warrior in an interview. Hemispheric effectors that could in fact perhaps impact kamikaze drones or something of that nature. While GDLS has been working with the Army to develop and deliver several new high-tech variants of the Abrams tank in recent years, such as the V3 and V4 M1A2 SEP tanks, the Abrams X reportedly incorporates massive, new innovations expected to greatly improve the tactical effectiveness of the heavily armored platform. One of the largest and potentially most impactful innovations woven into the Abrams X may be its hybrid electric drive, a propulsion system capable of massively increasing fuel efficiency while improving survivability, was emphasized that, while of course hybrid propulsion can improve the vehicle's environmental impact, the reason for its existence is largely tactical. Not only will a hybrid system massively reduce the logistics footprint and increase fuel efficiency, but it will also increase survivability in a number of critical respects. A smaller, leaner logistics and resupply trail creates less targets for an enemy and keeps more soldiers away from enemy fire. Tactically, The hybrid systems enables silent watch, meaning an ability to operate with sensors and weapons without needing to emit an acoustic or thermal signature. This improves lethality and survivability for the vehicle and massively expands its operational envelope. These advantages are greatly maximized by third-generation forward-looking infrared sensor targeting systems, which bring much longer range and high-resolution targeting to armored offensive attack operations. The third-generation FLIR would be incorporated into the Abrams X platform, so we're using that, as you know. That's a remarkable capability step above. Being a tanker, I would say that it is really noticeable what that capability is. That'll be certainly the best in the world. Reese. Certainly the V3 and V4 Abrams tanks, when all the upgrades are considered, are essentially entirely new vehicles when compared with the initial 1980s era platform, as new sensors, weapons, data links, command and control, armor protections, and onboard electrical power systems have all been completed revamped as though the platform were new. The emergence of the Abrams X and the many innovations it weaves into the platform may introduce some interesting new questions about the future of the Abrams tank and the continued place for heavy armor in the future. Perhaps heavy platforms, while operating within certain limitations, can operate in coordination with robotic vehicles, unmanned systems, and faster, lighter-weight attack platforms to provide firepower and heavy formation support to fast-advancing units.